All right, so this chapter markers the beginning of Judah's collapse. Babylon rises to power, three of Judah's kings fall in succession, and the nation begins its exile, just as the prophets had warned. The first part of this chapter covers Nebuchadnezzar and Jehoiakim. During the reign of Jehoiakim, Josiah's son, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, invades Judah. Jehoiakim submits for 3 years but then rebels. The Lord sends raiders from Babylon, Aram, Moab, and Ammon to destroy Judah, fulfilling his word through the prophets. This happens because of Manasseh's sins, the innocent blood he shed, and the idolatry he spread. Egypt loses control. Babylon dominates the region from the Euphrates to Egypt's border. Judah's punishment is God's judgment, not just politics. The sin of past generations finally catch up. The second part of this chapter covers Jehoiachin's short reign and the first exile. Jehoiakim dies, and his son Jehoiachin, also called Coniah, becomes king at age 18. He reigns only 3 months before Babylon surrounds Jerusalem again. Nebuchadnezzar himself comes, and Jehoiachin surrenders along with his mother, officials, and nobles. Babylon carries them away as captives, the first major deportation. He takes treasures from the temple and palace, and all Jerusalem's leaders, soldiers, craftsmen, and smiths, about 10,000 people. Only the poorest remain. Okay, so Nebuchadnezzar installs Mattaniah, Josiah's uncle, as a puppet king, remaining in Zedekiah. The first wave of exile begins. Among the captives is the young prophet Ezekiel, right? So the third part of this chapter covers Zedekiah's reign and rebellion. Zedekiah becomes king at age 21 and reigns 11 years. He does evil like Jehoiakim, ignoring God's warnings. Eventually, he rebels against the king of Babylon, a fatal mistake that leads to Jerusalem's final destruction. You can check that in the next chapter. So Zedekiah had every warning, but not humility. Rebellion without repentance seals Judah's fate. What are the key lessons from the 2 Kings chapter 24? The first one is God's judgment fulfills his word. The prophets warned Judah for generations. Now their words come true. Second lesson, sin has long-term consequences. Manasseh's evil and Judah's idolatry is still being restructured decades later. Third lesson, human power cannot save. Egypt's fall shows that no alliance or empire can protect a nation that rejects God. Fourth lesson, God preserves a remnant. Though thousands go into exile, God keeps a faithful field. The story of redemption isn't over, okay? In summary, Babylon conquers Judah. Jehoiakim rebels and dies. Jehoiachin surrenders and is taken captive with thousands to Babylon. Zedekiah becomes king but continues to rebel against God and Babylon alike. Judah's fall begins, and the next chapter will complete it, right?